Yo, let's go boys, we are back on the Forge. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to min-max your pickaxe, armor, and weapons with the Rune Maker. Since the new Christmas update is coming out in about 10 days, there's legit never been a better time to get your gear maxed out, so without wasting any more time, let's hop into the video. Psst, don't forget to like and subscribe. Alright guys, so the first thing that we're going to be talking about for putting runes on our gear is, of course, getting good gear in the first place. So if your gear is somewhat looking on the same level as mine, then that's going to be when you're at that point where you're like, okay, let's start enhancing my gear, let's start putting runes on it. So yeah, we're going to go over basically what runes we want to be using. But first off, once you get this late game gear, you essentially just want to go over to the enhancer, and this is pretty simple. You literally just be like, yes, I'm here to enhance. Go ahead and check out your gear and then just start enhancing it. And the way the enhancement system works is every 3 enhancements that you get, you basically gain a rune slot. So level 1 to 3, once you hit 3, you get a rune slot, and then level 3 to 6, once you hit 6, you gain a second rune slot, and then level 6 to 9, you gain a third rune slot. Currently, once you upgrade late game gear to like level 6 or 7, it doesn't allow you to upgrade it any further past that. So as you can see, like my gauntlets right here, +6, literally can't upgrade it because it requires legendary essence, so that's quite literally impossible. And you might be questioning me, you're like, wait, your gear doesn't look endgame. Personally, I'm not going to sit here and grind like 30 Darkright just to make like a chest plate or have a chance at making a good one. That is, you know, I'd rather die. I'd rather eat glass, you know what I'm saying? But anyways, once you get your gear that is like good enough for late game and good enough for this next update that's coming up, you're basically just want to upgrade it to level 6, and then we're going to be moving on to what runes you should be using on each piece. All right, so the first thing we're going to be checking out is our pickaxe, of course. So the runes that you're going to want for these is going to be dropping from these guys inside of World 2, the little guys that look like wall breakers, the bombers. And you're going to want the minor shards, and when a minor shard drops, they have a chance to be like basically like attack damage with your pickaxe, or also like how fast your pickaxe swings. But the one you're looking for is going to be the luck runes. So what the luck runes do is they literally just straight up improve the luck on your pickaxe. So as you can see, 41% overall luck increase. For this rune, you're going to want runes that are in between 13 and 16% luck. Currently, I'm using a 13% one, 13% one, and then a 15% one. So as you can see here on these shards, if I select this, yeah, so luck 1, 13%. This one is a 15%, and then ending with 30%. So yeah, the max you can get is 16%, but you're going to want a minimum 13 for your pickaxe. Then for the armor, for the chestplate, I'm personally using 2 Briar Notch runes. The highest amount of thorns that you can get on Briar Notch is going to be a 10%, I believe. It might be a bit higher than this, but something around 10% is what you're looking for. And then for the secondary on it, I would go for dash distance, especially if you have Angel or Demon. This is extremely good for getting around the map. So yeah, that dash distance, definitely huge. I would go for that on both of them if you can. That's what I'm currently doing. And as you can see, I haven't gotten a good enough Briar Notch that's a 10% on the bottom one yet, but I'm going to be aiming for that in the future. So now moving on to the pants, what I'm currently using is Rage Marks, and for these, the highest amount is around like, I believe a 25-ish% for the physical damage buff and movement speed buff, because as you can see, it gives you a 5-second buff, and then it has about a minute cooldown. This is pretty good when you're taking a lot of damage when you're farming, because when you get low, getting that huge damage buff as well as the speed buff not only helps you farm quicker, but it also just helps you get from enemy to enemy and obviously do a lot of damage to each one. For the secondary on these, it doesn't really matter. You can go for the dash cooldown like I have on this one, or alternatively, you can go for some invincibility frames. Not a huge deal. The main thing we're looking for is the Berserker buff right there. Alternatively, you could also use Briar Notches on these if you would like to, but that's to each their own. Honestly, it's just your choice at the end of the day. And then for the helmet, I'm going to go ahead and be using Briar Notches again, and once again, I would personally be using the dash distance rather than endurance, and it's the same thing with the thorns. Aim for around 10%, but if you can't get there, go ahead and put something lower, such as the 8% I have on this, and then I also have another 8% on this, and then some extra movement speed, which is also good for getting around the map. You're mainly just going to want stuff that helps you move quicker, or alternatively dash around quicker. And then finally, moving on to our weapon, the best combo that I've found for runes on the weapon is going to be the Drain Edge, and you're going to want Lifesteal typically above 10%, and then Lethality around 13%. I believe lethality might be able to go up to 16% as well, but yeah, you're going to want at least 13% on the rune. That's what I would aim for, but then again, you could have like 10% lethality, 10% lifesteal, pretty good. And then for the secondary rune, you want to use Blast Chip, because Blast Chip, it adds more explosion chance, especially if the explosion chance on your currently crafted weapon is lower than the one listed here. That makes it extremely good, but for this one, I got a 37% buff on the weapon damage, and then a 13% buff again with the physical damage. Do note that when you're using blast chips, you might be asking yourself, wait, why wouldn't you just stack 2 blast chips? It's because the chance on hit does not stack with each additional blast chip. So I'll actually just show you guys real quick. So right now I have a 22.75% chance on hit to activate a 70% damage buff. But if I take off this Drain Edge real quick and then throw on this blast chip, which would theoretically give me an extra 17%, as well as a 32% more weapon damage on it. So let's go ahead and attach that. As you can see, it's still a 22.75% chance on hit. However, the damage is better, but in my opinion, it's honestly just better to go for a Drain Edge like this, because you're going to be getting some lifesteal, and since that percentage doesn't stack, I don't believe that it's worth doing. So yeah, let me go ahead and take that off and put that Drain Edge back on. It was this one, I believe. There we go. All right, yeah. So yeah, basically, that's about it for the runes, and after that, basically all you can do past that is just aim for higher and higher percentages on each rune, aiming for those max percentages, and you can kind of figure out what works for you the best. You might like the Briar Notches more, you might like the Rage Marks more, but one thing I do know is that the new Poison rune, I don't believe it's very good. It seems alright. It basically just does like a percentage of your weapon damage over time on hit, but when you're late game, you can literally be doing so much damage to mobs that getting some percentage damage over time on hit is not worth it at all. So I think that going for higher multipliers on weapons is definitely better than going for those percentage damage over time. Just go for as much raw damage as possible. That's kind of what I did with my most recent pair of gauntlets that I crafted. The recipe for these is pretty simple. It's literally just 3 Darkrai, 3 Darkrai, 2 Demonite, 2 Magmite, and then I believe I used 2 Fireite, maybe? Okay, yeah, so in that last... Okay, I mean, that guy was just flying. In that last clip, though, I forgot what I was using to craft that weapon, so I'll go ahead and show you guys right now. So I don't have the resources that I used to craft it, because obviously I'm not going to sit here and grind away like my whole life. But just imagine that this is 2 Ior, 2 Demonite, and then 2 Magmite, and then 3 Darkrai. So that is the recipe right there. So once you put in, so yeah, like I said, imagine that these are the ores that they're meant to be. Once you put those in, though, you have a 65% chance to get gauntlets, and then you have a 1 in 4 chance to get the relevators. So the pain I had to go through to get that right. Anyways, that is basically everything that you're going to need to know for the runes. There isn't a whole lot to do in the end game right now, so I'm low-key kind of bored, but I just wanted to make this video to help you guys out to understand basically what you need to do to min-max your character before the new update drops. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe, and maybe even hype the video. There's a hype system on YouTube now. I don't really know what it is, but go down there, you'll find it. And apart from that, Discord is in the link in the description, and appreciate you guys for watching. So yeah, until next time, no words out.